You think the mistakes you make in Vegas are your own fault. Bad luck, poor planning, a little too much fun. But what if I told you that every dumb mistake a first-timer makes is the result of a carefully designed system? A system built to ensure you fail. But is this system just about taking your money? Or is it about making sure you never want to come back? In this video, we are not just listing common errors. We are exposing the corporate traps behind them. The real question is not what mistakes you will make, but who profits from them. Every year, millions of first-time visitors flood Las Vegas, each one eager to experience the glamour and excitement they have seen in movies and TV shows. But beneath the dazzling lights and promise of entertainment lies a sophisticated machine engineered to separate you from your money by making your mistakes look like your own. These are not random failures or simply bad luck. They are predictable patterns that casinos and resorts have studied, refined, and perfected over decades. Corporate design teams employ behavioral psychologists and environmental engineers who specialize in creating spaces and situations where you are almost guaranteed to make costly decisions. What is particularly insidious is how these traps make you feel like you have failed personally, that you should have known better, planned better, or resisted temptation better. But the reality is this: those beginner mistakes are not mistakes at all. They are profitable design features. Las Vegas corporations spend millions annually analyzing first-timer behavior patterns. They track everything from eye movement to decision fatigue. They know exactly when you are most vulnerable and precisely how to exploit that vulnerability. The house does not just win because of mathematical odds. It wins because the entire experience is engineered to disadvantage anyone who does not know the unwritten rules. Let us break down the 10 most calculated traps that await the unsuspecting Vegas first-timer, starting from the moment your plane touches down. Mistake number 10. The airport slot machine trap. Your first mistake happens before you even reach your hotel. McCarran International Airport, now Harry Reid International, is not just a transportation hub. It is the first stage of the Vegas extraction machine. Those slot machines lining the terminals are not there for convenience or entertainment. They are there because airport visitors are in a uniquely vulnerable state, tired from travel, excited about arrival, and eager to start their Vegas experience. What most first-timers do not realize is that these airport slots have demonstrably worse odds than machines on the Strip. Nevada Gaming Commission payout reports consistently show airport slots paying out at 85 to 88%, compared to 90 to 95% on the Strip. That difference might seem small, but it represents millions in additional profit from capturing tourists at their most vulnerable moment. This strategy was implemented in the 1990s and aggressively expanded after 2010. The placement is deliberate. Machines are positioned where you will inevitably pass them while waiting for luggage or seeking transportation. The psychology is simple but effective. People tell themselves, "I am in Vegas now. I might as well start the fun." But the airport trap extends beyond gambling. Transportation options from the airport are systematically overpriced and confusing for first-timers. Taxi drivers are notorious for long hauling, taking unnecessarily extended routes to inflate fares for tourists who do not know any better. A ride that should cost $20 to $25 can easily balloon to $40 to $50 through this practice. Airport shuttles advertise affordable rates but fail to mention the long wait times and multiple stops before reaching your destination. Rideshare services implement surge pricing that coincides precisely with peak tourist arrival times. Every transportation option is designed to extract maximum value from those without local knowledge. Mistake number 9. The check-in ambush. You have survived the airport gauntlet and finally arrived at your hotel, exhausted but excited. This is exactly how they want you: tired, overwhelmed by sensory stimulation, and eager to start your vacation. The check-in process is not designed for efficiency. It is designed for extraction. First comes the room upgrade pitch. For just $50 more per night, you can have a strip view. What they do not tell you is that these upgrades are often massively marked up for first-time visitors, while frequent visitors receive similar or better upgrades for free through loyalty programs. The front desk staff often work on commission structures, specifically incentivizing them to target those they identify as first-time visitors. Then comes the resort fee revelation. You thought you paid $109 per night when booking online, but now you are informed of a mandatory $45 daily resort fee for amenities you may never use. This practice emerged in the early 2000s and has exploded in the 2010s to the present day. The timing is no accident. Disclosing these fees after you have traveled all the way to Vegas and have luggage in hand maximizes the likelihood you will simply accept the additional cost. Documents leaked from major casino corporations have revealed training programs that teach staff to identify first-time visitors through specific behaviors and questions. Once identified, these guests are flagged for targeted upselling throughout their stay. The difference between advertised rates and final bills for first-time visitors is often 40 to 60% higher than the original booking price. The check and ambush works because it exploits a psychological principle called commitment escalation. Having already invested time, energy, and money in getting to Vegas, most visitors will accept additional costs rather than start their search over or appear cheap in front of traveling companions or hotel staff. Mistake number 8. The casino floor maze. The casino floor is not randomly arranged. It is a carefully engineered labyrinth designed to maximize your exposure to gambling opportunities while minimizing your ability to navigate efficiently. This is not conspiracy theory. It is documented design strategy. Casino architectural plans explicitly show how pathways are constructed to prevent direct routes between destinations. Want to go from your hotel room to the restaurant? You will need to wind through rows of slot machines. Looking for the exit? Prepare for a journey past numerous gaming tables. This is not poor design. It is deliberate disorientation. Environmental psychology research used in casino design has established that confused patrons spend more money. The absence of windows and clocks is not just ambiance, it is calculated temporal disorientation. Studies show that people who lose track of time make riskier financial decisions and play longer. For first-timers, this disorientation is amplified. Without previous experience navigating these spaces, you are entirely at the mercy of the design. Casino corporations invest billions in studying and refining these layouts. They track foot traffic patterns and conversion rates, how often someone passing a particular game stops to play, to maximize extraction from every square foot. The slot machine programming itself is tailored to exploit beginner playing patterns. First-timers typically start with cautious, small bets. Modern slot machines are programmed to provide more frequent small wins early in play sessions, creating a false sense of success that encourages continued and increased betting. As your session continues, the payout frequency subtly decreases, but by then you have developed a psychological commitment to the machine. Even ATM placement is strategic. They are positioned in areas where visitors are most likely to have just depleted their cash, typically deeper in the casino floor rather than near entrances. And they come with some of the highest fees in the banking industry, often $5 to $10 per transaction, another small cost that adds up significantly over a stay. Mistake number 7. The free drink deception. Free drinks while gambling is perhaps Vegas's most famous offering. First-timers arrive, expecting a constant flow of complimentary alcohol as they play. What they do not understand is the calculated economics behind this seeming generosity. The system works like this. In order to qualify for free drinks, you need to be actively gambling at a rate that more than compensates the casino for the cost of your beverage. Casinos track your play rate through player cards and dealer observations. If you are not betting enough, your drink order mysteriously takes forever to arrive, or never comes at all. For table games, you generally need to be betting at least $25 per hand to receive regular drink service. At slot machines, the minimum play rate has steadily increased. Many casinos have now implemented electronic systems that monitor your gambling pace and only light up a service button when you have played enough to earn a drink. The economics are straightforward. A $12 cocktail costs the casino about $3 to produce. If you are betting $25 per hand at blackjack and playing 50 to 60 hands per hour, the casino's expected profit from your play far exceeds the cost of keeping you lubricated and playing longer. First-timers typically make two critical errors in this system. They either play at stakes too low to receive attentive drink service, leaving them frustrated and thirsty, or they increase their betting beyond their comfort zone simply to qualify for free beverages that they are actually paying for many times over through accelerated gambling losses. What is more, These complimentary drinks are often watered down compared to paid beverages. Another subtle way casinos maximize profit while maintaining the illusion of generosity. Cocktail waitresses are trained to prioritize high rollers and recognize regulars, leaving first-time visitors with the longest wait times and the weakest drinks. Mistake number 6. The dining disaster. Las Vegas has transformed itself into a culinary destination, with celebrity chef restaurants and exclusive dining experiences. For first-timers, these restaurants often become a budget-destroying experience because of deliberately confusing pricing structures. Analysis of TripAdvisor and Google reviews shows a consistent pattern of shock and outrage from first-time visitors over their final dining bills. This is not because tourists did not check menu prices. It is because the true cost is systematically obscured until the check arrives. The bait and switch starts with prominently advertised signature dishes at somewhat reasonable prices. Once seated, first-timers discover that these entrees do not include sides. Sides must be purchased separately, $14 to $18 each. Want sauce with your steak? That is another $5 to $7. The water you assumed was complimentary costs $12 per bottle. Social media is filled with receipt shock posts showing bills 40 to 70% higher than expected based on menu prices. One particularly egregious practice is the automatic addition of suggested gratuities, starting at 18% and rising to 25% on pre-tax totals. Often, there is no clear disclosure until the bill arrives. Cover charges and service fees provide another layer of extraction. Many restaurant clubs implement cover charges that kick in at specific times, often right when your reservation is scheduled. You arrive at 8 p.m. for your dinner reservation, only to discover a $25 to $50 per person entertainment fee has just been implemented, despite no change in the venue's atmosphere. These practices target first-timers because repeat visitors know to explicitly ask about all potential charges up front. The system profits from your assumption that dining works the same way in Vegas as it does at home. It does not. Mistake number 5. The show ticket scam. Las Vegas shows are legendary, but the ticket purchasing process is designed to extract maximum revenue from visitors unfamiliar with the system. First-timers typically make the critical error of buying tickets directly from hotel concierges or official box offices, assuming those are the most reliable sources. What many people do not realize is that these official channels often charge 30 to 40% premiums compared with tickets available through discount brokers or same-day purchase options. Hotels have agreements with show producers that allow them to mark up tickets substantially while creating the impression that these are face value prices. The high-pressure sales environment creates false scarcity. Sales lines like this show usually sells out, so you should secure tickets now are commonly used to prevent you from shopping around. In reality, many shows operate at 60 to 70% capacity on average nights, and last-minute tickets are almost always available. Service fees are another extraction layer. A ticket advertised online, or on posters, as $99 will typically incur $20 to $30 in additional convenience fees, facility fees, and processing charges. These fees are not mentioned until the final checkout stage, after you have already psychologically committed to the purchase. Seat selection is another opportunity for exploitation. First-timers are often shown seating charts with minimal context about viewing angles or experience quality. Premium seats might be priced $50 to $100 more than standard seats, despite negligible difference in actual show experience. The most predatory practice targets those who ask for good seats without specifying a price range. Sales agents are trained to offer premium or VIP options first, rather than explaining the full range of available price points. Mistake number 4. The transportation trap. Once you've checked in, the transportation nightmare has only begun. First-timers consistently make the critical error of underestimating distances on the strip and overestimating the convenience of walking. What looks like just next door on a map can be a 30-minute walk through crowded sidewalks in heat of 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Casinos exploit this miscalculation by offering seemingly convenient transportation options that come with hidden costs and inefficiencies. The most notorious is the monorail, positioned as an efficient way to travel the strip, but actually located far behind the hotels, requiring lengthy walks through casinos to access. Taxis continue the exploitation begun at the airport. Long hauling remains common for trips between strip properties, with drivers taking unnecessary detours for tourists who do not know the direct routes. Studies have documented that taxi rides for obvious tourists cost an average of 27% more than identical trips for passengers perceived to be locals. Rideshare services implement surge pricing that precisely targets peak tourist movement times. Friday and Saturday evenings between 7 and 11 in the evening regularly see 2.5 to 3 times normal pricing. Casinos have furthered this exploitation by relocating rideshare pickup locations to inconvenient distant areas of their properties, often requiring 10 to 15-minute walks through the casino to reach them. Even the seemingly helpful free shuttle services between properties are designed for extraction. These shuttles typically run infrequently, make numerous stops, and only connect properties owned by the same parent company. Their primary purpose is to keep you within that ecosystem of casinos, rather than providing actually convenient transportation. Mistake number 3, the tipping confusion. Las Vegas has cultivated a tipping culture that systematically exploits visitor unfamiliarity with local expectations. First-timers often end up either under-tipping and receiving poor service or over-tipping because of pressure and confusion. The exploitation begins with deliberate ambiguity about who should be tipped and how much. Hotel employees are trained to position themselves in ways that create tipping expectations. Bellhops sometimes grab bags before you can decline assistance. Housekeeping leaves prominent tip envelopes, and doormen rush to open doors and offer unsolicited advice. Digital tipping prompts on payment screens have been strategically implemented to increase extraction. These screens typically start suggested tip amounts at 18%, 20%, or even 25%, which is well above traditional expectations for many services. The public nature of these screens creates social pressure to select the higher options, especially for first-time visitors who are uncertain about local customs. Research into tipping behavior shows that tourists in unfamiliar environments tip an average of 5 to 7% more than locals for identical services. Vegas capitalizes on that insecurity by creating environments where under-tipping appears to risk social stigma or reduced service quality. Perhaps most exploitative is the practice of tipping for luck at gaming tables. Dealers and pit bosses subtly encourage first-time players to tip after wins or to place bets for the dealer, suggesting this improves luck or game outcomes. This practice has no impact on game results, but it does extract additional money from superstitious or uncertain players. Mistake number 2, the pool day club disaster. Las Vegas pool complexes have evolved from simple hotel amenities to major profit centers targeting first-time visitors. The extraction begins with marketing that presents these venues as must-visit experiences, without disclosing their true costs. First-timers arrive at these pools unaware that entry fees often range from $20 to $50 per person on weekdays, and from $75 to $150 on weekends. These fees are frequently unadvertised or buried in fine print, creating shock at the entrance. Once you have walked across the hot pavement in your swimwear, psychological commitment makes you more likely to pay than to turn back. The real extraction comes through cabana and daybed rentals. These are marketed as affordable luxury, but they come with minimum spending requirements that are not clearly disclosed until booking. A $300 cabana rental can require an additional $1,000 to $2,000 minimum spend on food and beverages. Bottles of liquor that cost $30 at retail are commonly priced at $350 to $600. Even simple comfort comes at premium prices. At many pools, all chairs are reserved for cabana customers, or they require rental fees of $50 to $100 per day. Finding a place to simply sit down without payment becomes impossible. Shade, a necessity in desert heat, is commodified and available only through paid options. The most predatory practice is the drink pricing combined with strict rules against bringing your own water or beverages. Pools enforce those rules and then charge $12 to $15 for bottles of water and $18 to $25 for basic cocktails. In desert heat, where hydration is a health necessity, this creates a captive market forced to pay whatever is charged. Mistake number 1, the souvenir spree. The final extraction comes as first-timers prepare to leave, feeling pressure to purchase souvenirs as proof of their Vegas experience. Casino gift shops represent some of the highest retail markups in the hospitality industry, with items priced 300 to 400% above identical products available off-strip. The psychological triggers are sophisticated. Gift shops are strategically placed near casino exits, capturing you at the moment when you are mentally accounting for your trip experience. Having spent hundreds or thousands on intangible experiences, gambling, dining, and shows, the relative cost of souvenirs seems minor by comparison. A psychological effect known as anchoring. Products are designed to trigger emotional, rather than rational purchasing decisions. Items branded with your specific hotel create artificial scarcity. You believe you can only get them at this location during this trip, which reduces price sensitivity. The most insidious practice is the creation of Vegas-exclusive merchandise that is actually mass-produced and available online for fractions of the in-casino price. First-timers purchase these items believing they represent unique memorabilia, unaware they could get identical products for 70 to 80% less through other channels. Even seemingly reasonable souvenir photos are engineered for extraction. Those iconic pictures, taken at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign or with casino performers, are often sold at high prices. A printed photo priced at $25 to $35 could be produced for under $2, representing markups of over 1,500% compared to production costs. The cumulative impact of these engineered mistakes extends far beyond financial loss. Families and individuals who saved for months or years for a once-in-a-lifetime Vegas experience find their budgets destroyed within hours of arrival. The psychological effect is devastating. Excitement turns to stress, enjoyment to anxiety, as visitors realize they have been systematically exploited. Testimonials from first-time visitors frequently describe feeling stupid, naive, or embarrassed about falling into these traps. Shame often prevents people from complaining or seeking remedies, further benefiting the corporations that designed these systems. Social pressure to maintain the appearance of having a great time compounds the problem as visitors continue spending despite mounting financial stress. The psychological impact affects future travel decisions as well. Many first-time Vegas visitors never return, having associated the destination with financial stress rather than enjoyment. Ironically, this actually benefits the Vegas machine. With millions of new first-timers arriving annually, there is a constant supply of fresh targets who have not yet learned the system's true nature. The Las Vegas experience is fundamentally designed to extract maximum value from first-time visitors through engineered confusion, psychological manipulation, and deliberate information asymmetry. The house does not just win because of mathematical odds, it wins because every interaction is designed to disadvantage those who do not know the unwritten rules. But armed with knowledge, you can beat this system. First, research extensively before arrival. Understand resort fees, actual distances between properties, and pricing structures for activities you plan to enjoy. Budget, not just for advertised costs, but for the 40 to 60% premium that hidden fees will add. Second, resist pressure tactics by deciding on spending limits before each activity. Prepare for upselling attempts at check-in, restaurants, and entertainment venues by knowing exactly what you want and what you are willing to pay. Third, seek local knowledge. Whether through online forums, travel guides focused on value, or by befriending Vegas residents, local intelligence is your best defense against exploitation. Fourth, support businesses that offer transparent pricing and refuse to participate in predatory practices. Some independent restaurants and entertainment venues have begun advertising all-inclusive pricing in response to consumer frustration with hidden fees. Finally, remember that every mistake you make in Vegas was engineered to happen. Your confusion, overexpenditure, and frustration are not failures of personal responsibility. They are the intended outcomes of sophisticated systems designed to separate you from your money while making you believe it was your own fault. Your mistakes are their business model. They profit while you blame yourself for their design traps. If you are angry that Vegas systematically exploits first-time visitors instead of welcoming them fairly, smash that like button, subscribe to expose more industry manipulation, and comment your worst first-time experience below. Let's arm future visitors with the truth they are hiding from you. How many of these mistakes have you made, and how does it feel knowing they were designed to happen?